the kind of let's talk about the phrases, if you will. Like as early as they can start to listen is suck it up, don't cry.
Yeah.
Like I mean, children that are just that are 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're is that part of what you're talking about? Kind of leads to this potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with fathers can be a caretaker, a caregiver, taking care of their children, but they can be so different in their emotional effect with their daughters versus their sons. They stop hugging and kissing on their sons probably by 10. And it's just that emotional warfare that boys go through is pretty rough.
Do you believe, or do you have any empirical insight to this, that a little bit of homophobia is part of some of that aspect as well, as far as the nurturing and like the physical attachment and the physical touch of boys? And I don't mean I'm certainly not suggesting that we sexually, objectify them. However, I guess that there's almost like male to male, like, connection, familiarity, even like putting your arm around your buddy. I know that even in my friendships, I've got buddies that are from, one was Saudi, one was Pakistani, and they would come over and we just and it would make me uncomfortable, quite frankly. And this is just probably the other year, and just like totally just hang their arm on and say, hey man, hey buddy, how you doing? It's, for American culture, it's, there's almost that immediate, is someone going to call me a, because like the locker room talk back, I was raised in the 80s and 90s. Do you have any insight in this? I mean, is it attached at all?
It's historically has always been an issue with how men show. This is a word we don't use. In fact, how we show affection to each other. Right. It's something out. It's again, you don't want to be seen soft or gay or something. So you got to kind of keep your distance, even though you can really, really have a genuine fondness for a friend. You just limited as to how you express it. How you show it. And that's what creates this limitation of being authentic with guys, and it's sad, and it's really, really sad that we have constantly followed that model of raising boys, and it's not resulting in any positive outcomes. That's the problem.
Well, it stymies emotional growth. It stymies emotional growth, and I think even more than anything, I think what it does is it harms our relationship then with the women that we love.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And you and I, you invited me to that fatherhood thing that VCU was putting on, which was great, by the way. Thank you so much for getting me there. I think it was last Friday.
Right.
And you may recall, like I felt the need to share with people because I deal with men's rage so much, whether I'm representing the women that they're hurting. The biggest thing right now that's really painful is like I've got women in my life that I care about that are friends of mine. That have shared with me about the men in their life literally breaking their bones and putting them, like strangling them, and women are trying to get away, and it's surprising the kind of households that this is happening in. And now I don't want to, and without getting, there's 3 sides to every story, and I don't want to suggest that anyone deserves anything. It's a very complex case, and so I don't want to just paint with a broad brush. However, if the information that I'm being given is true, that broken bones and that worried about whether or not he's going to come home drunk and high on coke and just kind of just do, these are the things that we as men are not addressing. How do we start? What do you think would be the things? We're in some difficult spots right now. And what women are doing, and it's reasonable because of how dangerous it can get, is bringing out protective orders against men, fleeing the state, going to other states, establishing residency there before they handle the custody and visitation. And so, like, it's traumatic for everybody, and that's now becoming some of the things we're dealing with. And so, where do we start? Do you have any ideas?
The formal anchor, one of the anchors on CNN many years ago, Chris Cuomo, he made this statement.
Oh, Chris Cuomo?
He made this statement, and it stuck with me. And they were talking about domestic violence, and he said this.